Hello from me too. I want to talk about the digital accessibility today, about some quick wins, about the European Accessibility Act, and about how we can get started with accessibility with our 11T sites. I am Fabian. My background is computation linguistics, but that didn't take me too long to get into another field, going into software development, some web development, and then ending up in design space. Did some years in an agency doing user experience design, and in all that time, I was the dedicated advocate for digital accessibility in the agency, and even before that. Right now, I am a freelance digital accessibility consultant and advocate. And yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Let's look at the very short agenda first. Digital accessibility, what is it? The web today, what is good, what is bad, and what can we do to getting started? Yeah, so let's start. Digital accessibility, not everyone has experience with working with digital accessibility. So what is it? There are a few definitions, but basically accessibility is meant to be independence for people. It is meant to enable people to participate in the digital life. It is about creating equivalent user experiences ideally for all people, so that not a certain group of people has a different, worse experience with our digital products. And ultimately, we would like to have websites and digital products without any barriers. The web today allows us to do this already. We can use semantic HTML, we can use modern CSS technology, and we can create beautiful, great digital experiences, responsive designs, and all of this. We have endless possibilities and an abundance of frameworks we can choose, and we have millions of tools that can help us. We also have AI and everything nowadays, and we have incredibly robust web browsers, which is a good thing on the one hand, but it is also a bad thing, in my opinion, because this leads to bad code. Bad code quality, because the browser basically can handle everything we throw at it. So it is not necessary to have good quality code. It is not necessary to have accessible code for many people who create those products. And this leads to bad quality code, bad quality coded website. So the main idea of this short talk for me is, what can we do and what can we do now? How can we get started with building more accessible websites, more accessible digital products? And the main things are understanding what issues can be there with my website, what barriers can I accidentally or incidentally create. How do I identify high impact issues, and how can I find simple fixes? And this is the main slide of the talk, and this is the one we spend a few minutes on. Common issues, high impact. There are a few things that can go wrong with a website that has that have a very high impact on users. Some of those have impact on everyone. Some of those have especially have impact on users with who use assistive technologies like screen readers, voice recognition, and such. The first two in this list, page language, page title, are usually the things a user using assistive technology gets to know first when visiting a page. So the page title usually is announced by a screen reader. If the page title is bad or even missing, the user might not even have an idea what is this page all about. Then we get back to the robust browsers. They always find some fallback using a headline, using something AI generated, depending on the browser. But basically, we want to have a good page title that describes the whole page. Page language, another thing. Setting the language of the page in our HTML element is crucial for screen readers to identify the main language of the page and to know in what language the screen reader is supposed to talk to the user. I'm myself from Germany. My computer usually is set to English, but I consume German websites more often. It is a regular occurrence that I visit a page where the language attribute is not set. And because my computer is set to English, my English voice screen reader tries to announce stuff that is written in German but spoken in English. And it is really weird. The one that I emphasized here, the heading structure, is one thing we can spend a lot of time with. But the main thing here is, and I link to a screen reader survey by WebAIM, and I will click on it and I show you the findings in here. This survey asked screen reader users a lot of things, but in this part, the question was, how are you finding information on a page? And you might see there is a significant number of people that find things on a page by navigating the heading structure. So more than 70% are using heading structure to navigate on a page, to find things on a page. So if you're not using heading structure in a good way, you are missing out on opportunity. You are losing users because they cannot find what they want to find. So heading structure is something that has really high impact and is really, really easy to fix. We can abstract from all the stylings of a website and just look at the content structure in plain HTML. If you know, there's a browser extension called Web Developer by Chris Patrick. I later will link to this as well. This is a nice extension that, for example, can remove all CSS stylings from a website and just look at the pure structure. And by doing so, you can easily identify issues with wrong heading levels, wrong heading hierarchy. The next one, image descriptions, alternative text alternatives, sometimes used synonymously. There is a difference, but the main thing is, if I use an image for something, I want a text alternative to have the equivalent of the purpose of the image. So I use an image for a purpose. And if the image is not there, for example, if I'm blind and cannot see the image, then I rely on the text alternative to give me the same purpose, but in text. And this is very important, because if there is no description at all, then there is information that I would miss completely. So image descriptions, very, very important topic, high impact. And the basics of those are easy fixes. Not all of it, because image descriptions, text alternatives can get quite complicated if you have complex graphics like maps, graphs, and such. But the basics, like having image descriptions at all, is a good start. Form labels is another common issue. A lot of design people remove labels from form inputs, put them in the placeholder, and then there is like floating placeholder as label and things like this. The easy fix for this is use a label, use an input, connect them together, and just leave it be. Don't remove anything that HTML gives you on purpose. Don't try to work around certain things like this, because there is a reason that it was built like this. Same goes for keyboard navigation. If I am not using a mouse to navigate a website, and I'm relying on keyboard navigation, it is crucial that certain aspects of the keyboard navigation are met. And there's a small game, I won't spoiler too much of it. It is called Hocus Focus. I will share the link to this as well. It just shows certain pitfalls, some things that happens on websites in respect to keyboard navigation. So how should it be? There's a level 1. I'm using Tab and Shift Tab to navigate interactive elements, and I'm pressing Enter to activate this button. I'm going from start to finish, and this is how it should be. But then, again, without spoiling too much, but in this level 2, the focus style was stolen. So I'm pressing Tab now, and you see there's nothing to see because the focus style was removed. So I'm pressing Tab and I'm moving to another element, but I cannot see it anymore. So I can move back and I can see it, but you get the hang of it. There are things that make it really, really hard, really difficult to navigate by keyboard. And those are easy fixes, because the easiest fix is to just not mess with it in the first place. Because this focus style that interactive elements have, this is built in to HTML. So if I don't remove it on purpose, it is there. So I have to actively destroy it. I have to actively exclude people. And easiest fix is to not do this. Most of this comes down to one very simple thing, semantic HTML. If there is something in HTML that does what I want it to do, like I want to use a button, then I'm just using a button. I don't build it myself with div, and on-click events and such. I'm just using a button. If I want a link, I'm using an A tag. I don't use a button and give it an href and another role and stuff. I'm not using a link to create a button. There are elements, and it is easier to use them than to build our own, because those have a lot going for them. So a button has a million things in the background, and if I don't use the button and I use a div, I have to rebuild all of this to make it accessible again. And yeah, this comes down to it. If it looks like a heading, it should be a heading. And if it is a heading, it should also look like a heading. So what can we do now? How can we start? We can start testing, and your test environment already exists. You don't have to learn how to use a screen reader to start. You don't have to buy expensive software that promises AI-driven automated testing, 100% accessibility. You don't need any of this. You can open your browser. You can change preferences and settings. You can zoom in and zoom out. You can resize the window. You can use the keyboard, tab and shift tab to navigate. See, can every link be accessed? Can every form be filled out? And such like this. And you can use your browser dev tools. I'm guessing most people are familiar with the browser dev tools, but I can inspect my browser window, and I have information en masse. I have the accessibility tree right here, and I can look at heading structure, and I can look at what are the alternative texts for images. So my environment already exists. I don't have to pay anything. I don't have to install 100 million things. I can just start. And when I create, I create responsibly. I want to give a few rules. Let's call them rules to get started. Use the strength of existing technology. So semantic HTML, as I said before, is the basis. If there is an element, I'm just using the element. It is the easiest way. If I go into the styling part, there is a lot of modern advancements in most recent years for CSS. Modern layouts we can build. There's a great website, Andy Bell and Hayden Pickering have the every layout. It is a you can buy it. There are I think there are 3 or 4 of those layouts in the free version as well. It is a great resource. The one website I would recommend people to go to is by Andy Bell as well. Be the browser's mentor, not its micromanager. It's build excellent websites. I will share all the links. It is talking about how to use responsive CSS, HTML, modern layouts, fluid typography, progressive enhancements, and things like this. And all those are made to build accessible websites, because we use what the browser already gives us. We don't rebuild everything and make it worse by doing so. Then the rule number 4, you probably don't need ARIA. For 99% of things, there is no use for ARIA. If you know, the first rule of ARIA use basically says don't use ARIA. So if it is possible without it, don't use it. It is a great rule to live by. And the last one, dive deeper and learn. There are a million resources about accessibility, but also simply about semantic HTML, about building responsive websites, about using modern technology, about using great CSS features. And the one course I always recommend is by Sarah Suedan, the Practical Accessibility course. Yeah, great one if you want to dive deeper and learn. And above all, be an advocate yourself, be an ally to people, listen to people, talk to your users, and ask about mistakes you have done with your website, about issues they have with navigating, with finding information. And this is where I say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity and platform, for Eleventy and for being, and for Zach creating the simplest and cleanest static site generator. And thank you for listening and for learning. And a few more resources in here. I will share the actual links, or I will just share the slides on the website maybe as well, so you can click on there and yeah, find me, follow me, contact me. You can contact me via Mastodon or Blue Sky, as you like. And thank you very much.